Ever feel like you're trying to build something complicated, maybe IKEA furniture, but the instructions are like gone and you're just left feeling totally overwhelmed?
Oh, definitely. That feeling of having way too much on your plate, super common.
Yeah, exactly. So today we're kind of grabbing a better instruction manual. We're diving deep into essentialism based on Greg McKeown's book.
Right. And it's not just another, productivity trick.
No, it's more fundamental. It's
Mhm.
about changing how you make decisions to, well, get more done by actually doing less. Less but better.
Absolutely. And for everyone listening, especially those who've told us you want to learn quickly, but not get swamped by information overload, this is really for you.
Yeah. Our mission today is to unpack essentialism, get past the theory, and find practical steps, things you can actually do.
Actionable insights. We'll pull key ideas, explain them simply, use real examples, and show you how to apply it.
Okay, let's start at the foundation. The big idea is to figure out what's essential. You need to get these three truths. You can choose. Most stuff is just noise, and you can't do everything trade-offs.
Exactly. Let's start with choice. McKeown really hammers this home. We have the power to choose where our time and energy go.
Like Madeline L'Engle said, it is the ability to choose which makes us human.
Right. And it's not passive. It's like a muscle you need to use.
And the book has that story about him in law school.
Yeah.
He knew he could leave, but it felt like he couldn't.
Yeah, like he'd given up his choice just by going with the flow.
But realizing that not choosing is still a choice, that's huge. Choice is an action, something you do.
Which leads straight into the second point. Most things are just noise.
So much noise.
McKeown says almost everything is noise, and a very few things are exceptionally valuable. That's why you need to spend time figuring out what actually matters.
Because some things are just so much more important.
Yeah, the effort pays off. Essentialism is basically learning to spot the vital few amidst all the trivial many.
Like panning for gold, you said. Sifting through tons of sand for those little nuggets.
Good analogy. And that brings us to the third thing, trade-offs. You just can't do it all.
Right. So the real question isn't, how do I do everything?
No, it's who gets to choose what I don't do.
Ah, if you don't choose, someone or something else will choose for you. Your boss, emails, whatever.
Exactly. You end up reacting instead of being proactive.
Okay, so that's the mindset. Choose, filter the noise, accept trade-offs. Now, how does this look in practice? The book contrasts the non-essentialist and the essentialist.
Yeah, it's like two different operating systems for life.
So the non-essentialist, they think pretty much everything is essential.
Basically, yeah, they see all opportunities as kind of equal. So they say yes, a lot.
To almost everything. And their decisions are based on what? Gut feelings, broad ideas.
Often, yeah. Broad, maybe implicit criteria. Sounds good, I'll do it.
And they end up busy, stressed, but maybe not making progress on the big stuff.
That's the trap. Now, the essentialist, totally different.
They think almost everything is non-essential.
Exactly. They're skilled at spotting the truly vital few. And because of that,
They say no.
they say no to almost everything unless it's a clear, enthusiastic, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Their criteria are deliberate, explicit, tied to their purpose.
Wow. That's a stark difference. That's one of those aha moments, isn't it? Seeing those two side by side.
Definitely. It shows how much energy we can waste if we're not careful.
So how do we become more essentialist? The book talks about 3 disciplines, right? Explore, eliminate, execute.
That's the framework. Let's start with explore figuring out the vital few. The key here is you need space and a broader view first.
And the first step is escape. Sounds dramatic.
Yeah, but it just means making dedicated time to think, to reflect, even when you're crazy busy.
Maybe especially when you're crazy busy.
Right, like Jeff Weiner at LinkedIn scheduling those 2 hours of just blank space.
Blank space on the calendar sounds weirdly productive.
He found it essential. Or Bill Gates's Think Weeks, total isolation to just read and think, big picture.
So that focused time, it's not a luxury. It's needed for clarity.
Absolutely critical. Then the next part of explore is to look around.
Be a journalist of your own life.
Kind of, yeah. Pay attention. What's the signal in all the noise? What's not being said? Look for the essence.
The book suggests keeping a journal, looking for odd details, things that stand out.
Exactly. And it uses that tragic Eastern Airlines example.
Oh, right, where they obsessed over a tiny light bulb.
And completely miss that the plane was descending. Hyper-focus on the non-essential can be disastrous. We need to train ourselves to see the bigger essential picture.
Okay, escape. Look around. What's next? Play. Seriously.
Seriously, Not noofing off necessarily, but engaging in things just for the joy of it. It sparks exploration, creativity.
Things the non-essentialists might dismiss as trivial.
Totally. But play broadens options. Stuart Brown talks about how it fires up the brain. Even Einstein valued fantasy.
Yeah, he sees it as more important than absorbing knowledge. So play helps find those unexpected insights, those aha moments.
It really can. Okay, next, under explore. Sleep.
Ah, the classic. Protect the asset.
You got it. Ourselves. The book tells that story of Jeff, the guy who burned out from no sleep. Serious health issues.
It's so easy to think less sleep equals more done, but it's just not true, is it?
Research totally debunks it. Good sleep boosts productivity, problem solving. Even naps help creativity.
Like that study on violinists, the best ones slept more.
Right. More recovery, better practice. Sleep is strategic.
Okay, so explore involves escape, looking, playing, sleeping, and finally, selecting, making the actual choices.
And this is where the 90% rule comes in. It's a tough filter.
The 90% rule, if it's not a 9 or 10 out of 10 for you, it's a no.
Pretty much. If it's not a clear yes, then it should be a clear no. No more, well, it's kind of good.
Gets rid of the good enough trap, like those examples of class selection or how Zappos hires super high bar.
Very high bar. And the book gives that framework. Opportunity, minimum criteria, extreme criteria. Helps you define essential, acceptable, and exceptional.
So you really know what a 9 or 10 looks like for you. Helps you filter quickly.
Exactly. Okay, so that's explore. Now discipline 2. Eliminate. Cutting out the trivial many.
That sounds like the hard part.
It can be. First step is clarify. Get really clear on your essential intent.
Like a mission statement, but better. More concrete.
Yeah, inspirational and concrete. Meaningful and measurable. It's like your North Star. It makes 1,000 later decisions easier.
So you asked that question. If we could be truly excellent at only one thing, what would it be?
Right. Forces focus. Then comes the really tough one for many people.
Dare. Daring to. Say no.
Daring to say no gracefully but firmly. It's crucial. We worry about disappointing people, right?
Missing out FOMO is real?
Totally. But the book argues the cost of saying yes when you mean no is way higher. Remember that nurse, Bronnie Ware?
The regrets of the dying.
Yeah.
Wishing they'd lived true to themselves, not what others expected.
Exactly. Saying no is part of that. And there are ways to do it gracefully. The awkward truth, a simple no, a no but. Email bounce backs.
Even humor sometimes. A clear no is better than a flaky yes.
Much better. Okay, next, under eliminate. Uncommit.
Ah, tackling the sunk cost bias. Sticking with something just because you already put time or money into it.
Yeah, like the Concorde example, or that guy losing money at the carnival game but kept playing.
We hate to feel like we wasted effort.
But you gotta ask that killer question. If I weren't already invested, how much would I invest now?
Oof, that forces honesty.
It does. Stop trying to force a fit. Maybe even do a reverse pilot. Stop doing something non-essential and see if anyone notices.
I like that. Okay, uncommit, then edit.
Editing as an essential skill. Cutting away the non-essential to make the essential stand out. Like the root of decision, meaning to cut.
So deciding is cutting options away.
It is. And sometimes you cut good options to make space for great ones. Like Stephen King says, to write is human, to edit is divine.
Nice. Okay, last one in eliminate is limit. Setting boundaries.
Crucial, like the stories of Jin Young setting that boundary before her wedding, or Clayton Christensen prioritizing family time.
Boundaries seem to be disappearing, don't they? Especially with tech.
They really are. But the book argues clear limits actually create freedom. They protect your time and energy for what matters.
And dealing with people who make their problems your problem.
Yeah, key boundary there. Their problem is not your problem. Put up fences before you need them.
Okay, that covers eliminate. We've explored, we've eliminated. Now, execute, making it happen. Effortless.
Well, wait, making it more effortless. First step, buffer.
Buffer, like space.
Exactly. Build in margin. Prepare for the unexpected. Like Joseph in Egypt storing grain. Don't assume the best case scenario.
Right, like leaving space between cars when driving.
Yeah.
Plan for things going wrong.
The non-essentialist runs on tight deadlines. The essentialist builds in buffers, like Norway's oil fund.
So practically maybe add like 50% to time estimates.
That's a great rule of thumb, reduces so much stress. Conduct scenario planning.
Okay, buffer. Then remove.
Remove obstacles based on the theory of constraints. Find the biggest bottleneck, the slowest hiker, and fix that.
Don't try to fix everything at once. Find the main thing holding you back.
Exactly. Like in the goal. Focus on that one constraint, or like that police program giving positive tickets.
Right, removing the cause of the problem, not just the symptom. Clever.
Very. Okay, next. Progress. Small wins.
Ah, the power of momentum.
Huge motivator. Research shows even small, daily progress boosts everything. So start small, build momentum.
Don't aim for giant leaps right away. Minimal, viable progress.
That's the idea. Smallest step that still moves you forward. Like the Stanford prison experiment shows how small actions create momentum for good or bad. Or that token system with kids.
Seeing progress is key.
Definitely. Okay, next under execute. Flow. Using routine.
Like Michael Phelps's pre-race routine. Makes things automatic.
Pretty much. It strengthens neural pathways, frees up mental energy. His coach used mental visualization routines too.
So routines aren't boring, they're efficient.
They can be incredibly efficient, like Ray Zinn doing the hardest thing first every day, though you can also mix routines up, like Jack Dorsey's themed days.
Find what works. Okay, last one for execute. Focus.
Being present. What's important now? That was Larry Gilwick's big question for his rugby team.
Simple but powerful. Avoid multitasking. Focus on the one thing.
Right. The author's story about the texting classmate shows how not being present hurts. Prioritize. Must do, should do, could do.
And take breaks. Those pauses that refresh.
Essential for maintaining focus. Like Gandhi's radical simplification, extreme focus by eliminating everything else.
Wow. Okay, so explore, eliminate, execute. That's the core.
That's the core structure, but ultimately, essentialism is a choice, a way of living.
Not just tactics, but a lifestyle.
Yeah, and the benefits add up over time. It helps navigate that paradox of success where more opportunities can actually lead to less focus.
Because you always have that choice. Focusing on the essentials is a choice. It is your choice. That's liberating.
It really is, like the author realizing Stanford was his essential path. Instant clarity. And these ideas work for teams too.
Less, but better for teams. Focusing talent and strategy. Makes sense.
So let's boil it down for everyone listening. Key takeaways.
Okay. 1, you always have a choice. Use it.
2, most things are noise. Focus on the vital few.
3, trade-offs are real. Choose deliberately what not to do.
4, saying no is essential. Learn to do it gracefully.
5, protect your assets, mind, body, spirit, sleep.
6, build buffers. Remove obstacles proactively.
And 7, start small, build momentum with routines, and focus.
Great summary. And for an actionable next step.
How about this? Pick one area where you feel overwhelmed, just one.
Okay.
Then apply that 90% rule. Look at the options, the commitments in that one area. What's truly a 9 or 10 for you?
And be honest about letting go of the rest.
Exactly. Just try it in one area.
Love it. And finally, we'll leave you with that question from Mary Oliver.
Oh, yeah. Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life?
Think about what's truly essential in your answer to that.
Thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive. We really hope this helps you on your path to doing less, but better.
Absolutely. Good luck with your essentialist journey.